observing tonight. So take a note.
Sensitive Mike. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight?
Gotta put a stop sign. We'll just stand here and block everyone.
You all enthusiastic crowd. Well, welcome to the third ever Xi'an Comedy Club night. Thank you for coming. My name is Tim. I'm one of your hosts for the night. Everyone good on drinks and stuff at the moment? I see you at the bar, My bottles, they're faster. All right, so we're starting a little bit on punk rock time, so we're going to get right into it with our first act. Everyone please welcome to the stage, Martin.
Thank you. Sorry. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Marty, okay? I'm Marty.
It's really hard to pronounce.
Born and brought up here in China. As a Chinese, I would like to talk about the famous topic. Chinese drink hot water. I have never thought to talk about it. But because it is overwhelmingly normal in China, just as we human beings, we have meals every day. But somebody in this room, his remarks about Howard a few weeks ago badly prickled me. So as Chinese, as the only Chinese person performing here, I feel this is the moment I should respond. When I was little, I had only ever lived in village with my grandparents and had only ever drink cold water from a well. As you may know, at that time in Chinese village, there was no tap water. Also, hot water was not economically available. So, I didn't drink hot water until later I came and lived in the city. So just like me, this cold water drinker cannot afford to hot water. No way. All because they like to eat raw food, so they also prefer to drink water raw. This belief comes from the fact that somebody like to eat rare steak. So I made some investigations. As our Chinese are just as curious why these people drink cold water. Some responses from them are, cold water tastes better. Okay? There is a soul in cold water. It is boring to wait for hot water to cool off before they start drinking. Otherwise, it may burn their mouths. They think hot water is only for coffee and tea. They can drink cold water in their countries directly from tap, rather than having to boil it. And it's quite energy saving, as if we human beings are inherently lazy. They are not they are not used to drinking hot water. What? Just because of this, they will only drink cold water? They only drink cold water? If it is, then I would not be surprised to see, just like this gentleman, this lovely gentleman, so many heavyweight, actually obese people in their countries. You know, sir, hot water is good for maintaining a healthy metabolism, and as an added bonus, hot water helps break down the adipose tissues in your body. Yeah, okay? Yes. And I will not be surprised, I will eventually realize why I looks much younger than this handsome gentleman, this one. Yeah. My respect to Mr. Wiener. Yeah. Although actually I'm at least 10 years older than him. Do you know why, Mr. Wiener? Hot water prevents premature aging. Yeah. We all know there are toxins in everyone's body, which make us age faster. But however, apparently, what you don't know is that hot water helps repair the skin cell that increase our elasticity of our skin. So now you know, Mr. Winner? Yeah. So I feel extraordinarily lucky as a Chinese comparing with this strong but pitiable gentleman, my beloved Mr. Tim. Definitely a cold water drinker. With all due respect, I just can hardly find any hair on your head. Miss Tim, I'm terribly sorry to let you know so late that hot water is also good for your hair health. And hot water can promote your hair growth. You know, hot water can energize the nerve endings of our hair roots, and it can promote the regular activity of roots, and subsequently accelerate the growth of your hair. Look at this beautiful Chinese lady. Can you find any acne and pimples on her? Now have a look at this nice lady.
Which one?
What did you find? Yes, pimples and acne. I'm sorry, madam, but why? Hot water prevents acne and pimples. Hot water deep cleans our body and eliminates root causes of acne-related infections. So when you ask a Chinese person with a hot summers why he or she drink hot water, the answer, as you may know, is good for your health. But you may wonder why. According to ancient Chinese medicine, drinking a glass of warm water in the morning helps kickstart the digestive system. Hot water and warm water, due to their temperature, supposedly aids blood flow. As blood circulation increases, it helps to detoxify our body. So, what I just cannot understand is that it is the Westerners who actually promote the popularity of drinking hot water in China as when the bacteria theory was established in Europe and introduced into China. We Chinese believe it and accept it because it is scientific. But now these guys degenerated to drink cold water, as our father did thousands of years ago before civilization, and find our Chinese funny when we drink cold hot water. What a crazy world! Thank you. My name is Marty.
All right, one more time for Martin. Okay, just quick and... Gonna lose connection or something. Quick announcement. Some of you found this out just now the hard way. The red door looks very enticing, but I promise you it is not the bathroom. That would be behind this lovely curtain here. So if you feel like you gotta break the seal, that's the place. All right, so let's keep things moving right along. Our next performer is Faraz. Everyone welcome Faraz to the stage, please. Faraz. All right. Sorry, dude, my whiteness is showing.
It's too late, man. It's too late.
That's okay.
So, hi everyone. My name is Faraz. Faraz, not Faraz, but you know, close. I mean, it's fine. Let me tell you a little bit about me, but before we begin, I'd like to tell you that the last hour I've been drinking what you would call liquid courage. And the reason for that is actually pretty simple. The reason for that is because I've been talking shit. I've been talking shit. More specifically, I've been talking shit to my friends who are all here today. And I've been saying like, doesn't matter, I can do this. No worries. What? I need to prepare for shit? Nah, man, I'm not gonna do that. And, well, I'm here now, and I realize that I was wrong. But it's okay, because, you know, I've got a lot of shit to talk about. Let me start out by doing a little experiment. So, my name is Faraz. Faraz. But what I would like to know is what that makes you think of. So, I'm gonna say, shut up. So who said Bueller? Did someone say Bueller? All right, you're old. I'm sorry, you're old. And when I say Faraz, what else pops up? Wheel, right. Another is jackass, asshole, but that would be mostly that guy over there. So I think you guys have noticed that I look a lot like someone else.
Yeah. Just a little.
Just a little, right? And he's over there. His name is Dave. Dave, say hello to everyone. It's Dave. We're identical twins. And well, you know, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say he's a bad person, but let's just say that when we were in the womb, someone got a little selfish. Ate a lot of food, but I'm supposed to look like him. But thankfully, we have another one. I'm actually part of a triplet, identical. The next one is over there. Would everyone please look with me? Could you jump? Dave, could you lift them up for a second? There you go. Right.
Put him down low.
Yeah, put him down. So, you know, I've been living with both of those idiots my entire life. That's not true. Dave got shipped off to Australia early because, you know, he committed a... But I lived the rest of my life with Hamoon. And Hamoon is different from me. We're different. As the Chinese would say, 我们不一样. 我们不一样. The reason is, it's called the devil versus angel syndrome. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this before, but there's this thing when you're a twin, when you're part of an identical twin, you share certain things, like for example, the size of certain parts of your body. And when it comes to personality, you don't quite share the same thing. See, my brother is always a complete wreck when he gets on stage. And I'm not the same way. I usually, as I stand here, I get more in tune, I get more comfortable. And the reason for that is because I think I'm awesome. But I gotta explain why. I mean, it's not quite deserved. Like, I don't deserve to feel that I'm awesome. But it's just like, guys, I'm 2 minutes older. That's something. And you know, you might think 2 minutes older, that's nothing. But trust me, I fought for those 2 minutes. See, when we were in the womb, you gotta know, this is more of a... who's seen The Matrix, by the way? Who's seen The Matrix? Yeah? You're all old. You're all old. But what people do is they run on walls and they fight, and that's pretty much how I envision, how I imagine our time back in the womb. Because me and my brother, we were dead set on getting out first. But I got out first. And because of that, my name is now Faraz. Now, I gotta tell you about that name. That name is actually very old, because it's not actually Faraz, it's Faraz. Yeah. It's an old Persian name. And Dave, could you do me the honors of pronouncing it the way my mother would when she gets angry at me? So I gotta tell you about that. He spent 4 hours, instead of studying, reciting that, just learning it from the top. And that's exactly what my mother sounds like. Just to fuck with it. Just to fuck with it. But it's an old Persian name, and it actually means mountain or high, of high stature. You see the joke I'm going in? Right? But you gotta know, that does something to someone. When someone grows up with a name, names mean something. They mean something, and you gotta live up to your name. So when people call me Faraz, I think to myself, yeah. Now you wanna know what my brother's name is? Hamoon. And Hamoon is also an interesting name because it actually means something more along the lines of lake or pasture. You see where I'm going with this? Yeah, so see, there's a little issue there. Well, not for me, obviously. For Hamoon, there's another meaning to his name. You gotta understand, my parents always wanted a son. So when they got my older sister, they named her not Faraz, but almost Faraz. They named her Faraz. They just put an N in there. Just put an N in there. Why have we want Faraz? And then the second time around, they got a boy. And they were like, Mountain! We're gonna call him Mountain! And from the womb, you heard like a song, like Disney, like dum 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 dum. Make way for Prince Faraz. and then there was a surprise. There was a second son to be born. And he came out, and you were like, oh. What shall we name this one? And Hamoon can also be pronounced as Hamoon. And Hamoon means that one. so you see how prophetic this these names are, because right now I'm here with you, and I'm talking out of my ass, like honest. And I don't deserve this feeling of like, wow, I'm really the shit. But honestly, you gotta blame our parents for that. Because you know. But honestly, it's also different because for him, oh, by the way, wait, it's like 5 minutes, not up. It's up. All right, then I'll keep talking shit for a while longer. All right, so you gotta know. Okay, nearly up. Okay, so you gotta know. Basically, what I want to end with is, I hope you won't be too surprised when you find out that when I was 5 years old, my brother got up in the middle of the night to shit on me. And you know that might sound like, well, totally out of context, totally uncalled for, bro. But listen, if you have me as your brother and I'm constantly like, look at this, you know, then what you're gonna get is you're gonna wake up one night and you're just gonna hear rustling just like next to your bed, and there's gonna be this dude who looks exactly like you, getting up on the bed, taking off his pants. You're just gonna be staring at an asshole for 3 seconds until you lose your shit. So that's enough of that for tonight, but I've got more stories and they'll be coming later. All right, that was it, everyone. Cheers.
All right, time, one more time for Faraz. Names do have meaning. In case you were wondering, Timothy means grass. All right, moving things right along. Some people are famous. Our next comic is somewhat infamous. Please welcome to the stage, Rudy.
Whoa. All right, comedy. Let's have fun. Let's tell jokes. My name's Rudy, and I've been doing comedy for like 25 years already, and this is my second time. Is it working? Oh, all right, awesome. And when I was in my mother's belly, I was like, Mom, let me out. I want to tell you a hot water joke. And I took a taxi the other night, and I didn't have my protection against the drivers, the headphones. And as soon as we started moving, he goes, you know, where are you from? And like, my Chinese is good enough to answer 3 questions. Where are you from? What do you do in China? And how old are you? And he goes on with the questions. I'm like, well, I don't know what to say anymore. And he goes, blah, 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 blah. And then in the end I hear, blah, 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 and this is a question. And I gotta say something back. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, again, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what do you belong? Sorry, foreigner. And he goes again louder, because as people do, if they see you don't understand you, you don't understand them. Just go louder. And he goes louder again. Okay, is it working? Great show so far. Okay, let's move on. He goes asking the question louder again. I go, I don't understand. He turns back at me and looks at me. Motherfucker, you just been speaking Chinese with me, and now you don't know what to say. I'm gonna take you the longest way possible. So he did. Many foreigners in China, work, study. Do you guys like China? No. Someone said no. Oh! Even though are you Chinese? You're getting deported anyways. Sorry. But yeah, many foreigners in China, they work, they study, and I've noticed that some foreigners just complain too much about some stupid shit. The dumbest complaint from a foreigner I've ever heard is like, oh my god, I came to China and they don't speak English. I came to Starbucks the other night, I was like, hey darling, can I get a vanilla latte grande please? And she was like, come on. I mean, I don't want to sound mean or rude, even though my name's Rudy, but okay. maybe, just maybe, you should shut the fuck up and learn Chinese. Hey! 听不懂. Where you from? You're getting deported. Okay. Has any of you ever been to a war zone? Like a real war zone? Because I have. This war zone is called friend zone. And I'm a true veteran of friend zone because I've been there 3 times in a row in the span of 4 years. And you know, we, the veterans of friend zone, do you know how we salute each other? Just like that. For the first time when the friend zone happened, and the girl gave this, let's be friends, you know? I was like, well, I'm just gonna play video games and just make sure my unborn kid stay on the paper. I love this mic. Marry me, Mike.
Hold it round. Who's Mike? Wait.
Where are you from? Hometown. You're getting deported. Because of the mic.
Alright, well the first time when it happened I was like, oh okay, I'm just gonna play video games and you know, for the second time when it happened I was pissed because I was much better, I became a nicer guy, I became more mature, and the girl gave me the, you know, let's be friends. I was like, excuse me God, small dick and now this. What the fuck? And the God goes, you just have to be an asshole to them. And I'm like, okay, God, okay. And for the 3rd time, I was a true asshole. Because I didn't mean to, but the God told me to. And I was like, and again, she's like, let's be friends for the 3rd time in a row. And I think it's a curse already, because just recently, there's been a girl, I didn't like her, but we just hang out and I was being nice to her, and we were sitting in a friend's house, and she was like, turns to me and says, you're a cool guy, I really like you as a friend. Excuse me for a moment, I have to talk to someone. What the fuck, man? Again? I don't even like her. What are you doing? I'm just fucking with you, sorry man. Bible sucks. I've never read Bible. Well, Jesus sucks. He's adopted. well, your mom's fat. I've never seen my mom. But you know why your mom's fat? Because I made her so. Alright, that's it for me. You've been great. Thank you.
Just inspecting the equipment, sorry. All right, our next comic tonight is a newcomer. Please give him a warm welcome, Ali.
Hello. Okay. It's the first time we're, already nervous, so the mic is not helping at all. Yes. Okay. Hello.
Fuck the mic!
Yeah.
Okay, so to gain a little confidence, can I start with some romantic poetry? Then I'll come to my original content. It's kind of a riddle too, so it goes like, stick it in. The longer it stays, the stronger it gets. It goes in dry and comes out wet. It comes out dripping and starts to sag. From Pakistan. It's not Pakistan, like you hear all the time in the news. So it's Pakistan. And moreover, maybe I look little like an Indian. But trust me, we look alike, but we are very different. So, but there are a few things common, you know, because we shared some history. So, as you already got a very long lecture on science from Martin on hot and cold water and history from Faraz, so let me give you a little lecture on our culture. So, I was telling that we have a few things common. So, we like to cover things. You know, we are very protective of things. Like, you bought a new TV. So the first thing you will do is not to check it. You will take the remote and cover it with a polythene. So, someone bought a new car. So what they will do, they will buy new seat covers for already new seat covers. So, seriously. But there is one thing that we don't cover. And result being, we are the 6th largest population on Earth. But there is a reason for that, you know? The reason is that buying condom is a taboo. Trust me, I'm not exaggerating. There are a few Pakistanis here, you can ask them. So, like, you know, it's such a taboo that if you're walking in the street and you pick out your wallet and accidentally your condom falls, someone tries to help you. Oh, your condom fell. What? No, it's not mine. I've never seen this thing in my whole life. Like, even like the people with children in their home, they would try to put them so far away from the reach of their children that when they need it, it's too far away from their reach. So that's again another reason for being 6th largest population. So, okay, another thing is that, you know, trust me when I say that, like a few years ago, the condoms were only available in medical stores, like if it's a medicine. What a guy would do, that he would find a medical store far away from his home, so that when he goes to a medical store for medicine next time, he doesn't have to face the same guy from whom he bought the condom. So he'll go very far away, and you know, when he enters, he will see, oh God, so many people. What should I do? I'm not gonna go and ask for a condom in front of all of them. So he'll wait for a while, but you know, after 15 minutes, okay, people are gonna stay. Let's gather some courage. He will go to the counter and will say, can I buy a pack of M&Ms? So, instead of buying condoms, he'll end up buying M&Ms. And you know, I have a friend who has 6 children in 7 years, and all of them love M&Ms. So what? Like, if he is able to gather the courage, and you know, he'll go to the counter and say, can I buy a pack of? You know, for shopkeeper, it's a daily routine. He knows what he came to buy. So he would say, what, Viagra? No, man, come on. And everyone would be looking at him. Oh, man, he's still not 30. Those porn movies. So, okay, but, no, man, I want to buy condoms. But the shopkeeper is not done yet. So he would say, okay, what size? So again, like everyone would be looking at him, okay, what would he answer? So the guy was smart. So he asked, okay, where are the condoms made of? He said, except people, everything here is made in China. So he said, okay, then Magnum is fine. I hope Chinese won't kill me. Anyway. So, like, if there is a guy who is very, confident enough, and he would go on the counter and just say, I need one pack of condoms. So, like, everyone would look, come on, man, what a shame, this guy. So, kids are very curious. So, a kid asked his mother, he saw that, okay, he asked for condoms, and everyone started to look at him. So he asked, Mommy, what is a condom? So her mother is now furious and turns to that guy and says, couldn't you whisper, you shameless bastard? So, okay, the kid again, Mommy, what is a bastard? Okay, the guy has a shot now, so he turns to the kid and says, bastards are the kids like you whose fathers buy M&M instead of condoms. Thank you guys, that's all from my side.
Okay, we got one more act for the first half of the night. You've seen him before, you know him as one of our hosts for the evening, the always amazing Wayne.
Thank you. Come on, give me a cheer. Don't cheer too fucking loud, my ears hurt. It's true. I suffer from tinnitus. For those of you that don't know, tinnitus is a high-pitched whine in your ear, constantly. It's a bit like having a wife. I thought I was going to go back. Huh? So yeah, I suffer from tinnitus, and I was talking to one of my Chinese friends about it, and she happens to be fucking bum.
Okay, let me give you a suggestion. Just don't move. Keep pushing it up.
That's what she said.
That's what she's at.
So, this is comedy. So, my Chinese friend, she's a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. So she said to me, would you like me to give you some treatment? And I'm like, yeah, what kind of treatment, apart from hot water? Because some of the medicine that they give you is made from slugs and snails and puppy dogs' tails and fucking tree bark and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm not sure I want that. She said, no, I can give you some therapy. Oh, okay. What kind of therapy? So, I'm going to try and tell you what it is in Chinese. So the first one she said is, Jen, come on, fuck it up. Jen, This is why Chinese is so fucking hard. Acupuncture. Ginger. That one. Acupuncture, where they put fucking needles all over you. In your hands. And because I have tinnitus, in my ear. So I'm lying down on my side, and I've got, in this ear, 5 fucking pins. So I'm thinking, if you've had acupuncture, when they put it in, when it hits the nerves, it fucking shoots through your body like an electric shock. So you're like, But it's very, very quick. A bit like sex with Dave. So I'm lying there with these pins in my ear, and then she comes out with a fucking contraption that looks like a battery and some little pincers and attaches them to the pins. What the fuck, I'm a lab monkey now? And it starts pulsating in my ear, in and around my ear. Fucking fucking horrible. So, the next one she gave me was Xi'an. Come on, my Chinese is perfect. Xi'an. Bleeding. Bleeding. So they take like a glass bowl, they prick your skin, they prick my ear, and yeah, a little prick, just like yours. I've seen it in pictures on the internet. I have. So they put this fucking, they prick your ear, and they stick the cup on, and the blood goes in there. Of course, I can't see this, so I'm lying there like this, la 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 la, and she comes back in and she goes, "Oh my God!" I was going, what? And then she stands there with a big grin on her face, taking a photograph, shows me the picture of this fucking cup full of my blood. I thought I was going to fucking die. Then she gave me gua sha. Gua sha. Gua sha, which is scraping. Where they take this kind of stone, whatever, and then they fucking scrape it up and down your back. Like, fucking hell, like this. And it leaves these fucking great big red marks all over your back. Looks like you're being skinned alive. But the last one, and this was the one that actually that made me think that I was going to give this a go. Because she said to me, "Would you like some cupping?" Right, boys?
Yeah!
We all want cupping, don't we? What is it? Ba Hua Guan. Ba Hua Guan. Thank you, David. Cupping. So I thought, do I want cupping? For my Chinese friends that don't know what cupping is, it's... So I go into the cubicle, I got my trousers and pants down around my ankles, and I'm stood there like this, with a big grin on my face. I'm gonna be cut. She walks in and she goes, "What the fuck are you?" I said, "You're gonna give me some cupping?" And she went, "No, put them up." So obviously I was a little embarrassed. I pulled up my pants. And she said, "Take off your shirt." So I took off my shirt, lay down, so you lay down. Now, cupping. For those foreigners that have not tried this, don't. I mean, do. It's really fun. What they do is they get like a glass fish bowl and a flame, and they light the flame in the cup to remove the air. This is going well. They light the flame, they remove the air, and they stick it on your back. And it's got this real strong suction. And I'm thinking, hello.
You're not listening to me.
No, it's not listening to me.
Or step back.
Yo.
Yeah, there's the way.
I like things that suck hard. Right, Becca? So the suction pulls out all of the toxins out of your skin, and it leaves these fucking great big red circles on your back. So I went home and Becca says to me, "What the fuck have you been up to?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She said, "You've been having an orgy with girls with perfectly round mouths." I said, "No, I've just been to a blow-up doll factory." But anyway, so I'm thinking, yeah, these suck really hard. I have an idea. So as I left, I think some of you are ahead of me already. As I left, I found the biggest bowl I could see. Honest, it was a big one. So, not really. Yeah, not really. So I pinched this bowl, I put it in my bag, and I walked out. And I got home, and Becca was at work. So I closed the curtains, turned down the lights. I got my bowl, I got my lighter, got my tissues. So I'm sat down, naked. So I'm sat on the sofa naked, I've got my computer on, I got my massage porn on, because that's my go-to porn. And I'm sat there with the bowl, with the porn, and as I'm getting more and more aroused, I get the lighter, I light the bowl, I put the bowl over my cock and balls. And immediately it starts sucking. And I'm thinking, fucking yes! And then all of a sudden this thing explodes and the bowl shoots up across the room. It's a true story. But here's the problem. I then had to make a translation on my phone, which was Tong Mao Tao Shangguo Xia Jingzi Wan.
What?
Which basically is, how do you remove a jizz-filled bowl from a cat's head? The vet gave me a funny look, I can tell you. That's it from me, thank you very much.
All right, one more time for Wayne and one more time for all the performers so far. All right, we're going to take a short intermission, about 10-15 minutes, get a drink, have a smoke, go to the bathroom, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with another 5 great acts for you. Thank you so much.
Takes all sorts, I guess. Okay, let's get back to the comedy. It was comedy. Actually, that was the best comedy we had. Right? No, you're all right. We don't have time. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. Next time. Next time. Okay, let's get back to the comedy. So next up. Fuck off. I forget who's next. Oh yeah. Next up is the man with the camera and his extending lens. It's Thabo! Give him a round of applause.
Fucking yes! Yes! Thabo! Mama! Where are your sleeves?
I lost them. Sorry. Okay, so, can I hear the teachers? Oh! Students! Oh! Okay, so I was a poor student. Living in Durban, South Africa. Durban is known for its beautiful beaches and it boasts the largest harbor in Africa. Okay. I was living with one of my best friends. We shared an apartment at the time. Both of us at that point in our lives, we didn't care much about dying. We cared more about experiences. So we liked doing cool shit, but we were pretty much broke. We didn't have any money. So we were drinking a lot and we had nothing, right? So we went for the cheap thrills. Okay, so, you know, the cheap thrills, we like exciting things. We started off like driving at night with sunglasses on. We also started a beer glass collection. Stolen beer glass collection, sorry. We liked climbing cell phone towers at night, drunk again. We stole we stole stop signs. We once did it during the day, which was interesting. It's not as easy getting away with the stop sign during the day. Trying to get away from the cops was fun, but we came up with something. We were able to do it. Can I put that down? Yeah. So, I came up with the plan for the stop sign. I pulled out a marker. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I do have a marker with me at all times. Okay, I always have a marker. And I just wrote racism under the stop sign. Stop racism. So, yes, we have one. Right. We went out going home, walking around with this thing, and we started a movement. Okay, people were giving us nods of support for our movement, the day drinking thievery movement. This was our thing at the time. We were so broke that we started a fake fight at a place called Lido Disco. That's Lido, Lido Disco. This place is a kind of a cross between a really dodgy bar and a really ghetto strip club, right? And this place, it was very close to the harbor, okay, that I spoke about. So naturally, it was full of seamen. Right. And so we went around and we found that the food was so bloody expensive. So we went around shouting, screaming at each other, pushing each other, fuck you, just for no reason. And then we saw some food that we liked. So my friend would push me into there and I'd grab as much food as I could, and yeah, living the high life in the ghetto strip club. We had all the food. Yeah. We were a member. We had a membership at our little local bottle store. Yes, we had a membership. With this membership, they allowed us to return bottles and get some money for these empty bottles. They didn't say they had to be our empty bottles, so we'd buy a lot of beer and we'd end up with triple the number of empties. I can't remember exactly how we managed that. I was too drunk off the free beer. So eventually, we decided the broke life was not for us. It was not for us. So we did anything we could to make money. Anything.
You sell your house?
So, oh yeah, pay me. Yeah. Right. So I was a waiter. I was a promoter. Maybe if you show me one. And I handed out drinks at marathons. Security stopped me, so I handed out water. I worked at SeaWorld for a little while. You know SeaWorld? Yes, okay. But this was before I realized that they were turning killer whales into just killers. I was even a designated driver. You know what a designated driver is? Yes, well, with my friend, I would drive drunk people home in their own fancy cars. So I drove a lot of cars. My friend would pick me up from the customer's home, right? So I took this couple once. A 60-something-year-old British man with a pretty hot young thing. An Afrikaans, like smoking hot girl with this old British guy. I drove a 2014 Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG, 6.2 liter. Yeah. So I remember this not because I love driving fast cars, which I do. I remember this because of the tip I got at the end. Big tip, right? And so both of them were basically paralytic. They were super ultra drunk, like only the rich can be. And the husband squeezed into the back of this two-door beast, and the wife was seated next to me. Somehow, she kept sliding ever closer to me with every passing minute. And after 20 minutes, she had latched onto my arm. Yeah, you know where it's going.
Come on, Thabo.
So, you know, under any other circumstances, I would not stop this woman. Okay, she was at the level of she was kissing her way up my arm at this point, just getting up there, getting towards the face. So I'm kind of losing my shit, right? Husband, and husband is behind me, right? I could hear him breathing. I could hear his breath struggling through his crooked teeth. Okay, behind me, and I could hear him there. So I'm shaking at this point, unsuccessfully trying to unlatch her from my arm. So I mustered up the courage to whisper to her, "Ma'am, I'm not your husband, I'm the driver." To which she replied, "I know." At this point, I put my foot on the accelerator. Everyone got whiplash. I was not gonna be a part of this twisted rich people shit. So, 30 minutes into our hour-long drive, we arrived. We detached ourselves from the seats at this point, and I'm walking now towards my friend. He's waiting to take me back home or to the next ride, and the husband just slaps 300 kwai in my hand. This is like 2 weeks of food when you're a student, right? So, in my stupid amazement, I'm saying, "Well, thank you. What's this for?" So, the husband looks left, looks right, leans in, and says, "Usually she doesn't like drivers, but I need to sleep early tonight, so thank you." Thank you. Very professional service. My name's Thabo Jaffe. Thank you. It's been a good night.
Give it up for Thabo one more time. Well done, mate. I just want to say, because I forgot to do it, I just want to say thank you to Echo for actually finding this location, because we were in a bit of a shitty situation. Thank you. Okay, so we have another new act, but I want you all to be very, very quiet. Because he's very shy. Okay? He's really shy. You don't notice him in a crowd because he's really, really tiny. Oh, fuck. It's Dave!
Hey, thank you, everybody. That's it. Well done.
Yes, we did it. Thank you so much. I'm proud of all of you. You did well. All right, so if you didn't guess from the onslaught of vowels coming from my mouth, yes, I am from Australia. Yes, yes, thank you. Yeah, I did it all myself, trust me. You know, just this was all myself. Little help. Yeah, so and everything from Australia is basically wanting to kill you. If you didn't know that. If you've seen the movie Mad Max, replace all the bad guys with kangaroos and snakes, that's basically a documentary. That's basically how it works. So yeah, can I just get a hand from everyone who knows about Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter?
Fuck yes!
Fucking yes. Alright, so obviously you've all heard about Australian Jesus. Well done, very good, you passed the test. So basically, as a young kid, being Australian and being in Australia, the first thing I ever saw of this man was basically a snapshot of a big fuck-off taipan, and these things are fucking deadly. And this guy just coming and going, yeah, look, she's a fucking beauty, look at it. What a specimen. And at that moment he decided, yes, I want a taipan up, in and around my bodice, all of it, everywhere. And you have to understand, it's very off-putting for a young person. Like, I'm just going, yeah, no, none of that at all. And I blame him actually for most of the people not wanting to come to Australia, because he basically went around to all parts of Australia going, yeah, you see this little spider? Yes, it will come to you in your sleep and it will kill you. And people are going, yeah, no, I'm not going to go to Death Island, but yeah, no, thank you for the offer, I appreciate that. So I've always really wanted a superhero for Australia. I've always really wanted that. You know, America's got Captain America. You know, England's got, well, you know, hero, 007. Not superhero, but he's all right. He's all right. And you know, and obviously, you know, South Africa has got Thabo. Thabo, where are you now? Yes. Yes. Okay. So yeah, and so I've always thought Steve Irwin was basically he could be our superhero. You know what I mean? Because there is nothing more frightening than having a guy waving a massive taipan in your face, going, "Look at this fucking beauty! Look at it!" Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's Avengers. Thanos is there, and he just rocks in. You know, he's riding a crocodile. Obviously, comes in riding a crocodile. Stay. Hold my beer. Right, Cat, what's the deal, mate? Yeah, fuck off. Just have a smoke. I'll sort this out. Right, Thanos. What's going on, you big dickhead? Yeah, look, the boys back here are saying you've been a bit of a cockhead. Don't make me get my taipan. I swear, I mean, Iron Man would still be alive. That's obviously in my script. So, guys, if you haven't obviously noticed, I'm Australian and I'm also vertically gifted. Yeah, a little bit, right? I'm a little tall.
Really?
Yes, fucking really. So guys, I once had a friend of mine say to me, "You're unnecessarily tall." Like, and it wasn't in a nice way, as if like, hey, it's a little unnecessary. It's more like in a mum, like a condescending voice going, "Hey, see this? It's unnecessary. All of it. It's all unnecessary." You know what I mean? And what do you say to that? It's like, sorry. Got a little carried away with that growing thing. I'll remember that next time I'm doing something I can have no complete control over. Appreciate that. So basically, I have a fear of crushing people to death. You laugh, it's a real thing, it happens to me. I'm basically, see this unnecessary Tower of Terror. It's basically a Jenga tower and one push of any of the blocks and I'm coming down and I'm ruining Christmas dinner. Yeah. The Christmas tree's gone, everything's fucked. Like you seven here, you're all dead. All of you, like you're gone at the very first moment, you're all gone. And so there'll literally be times where I'm walking along the street having a good time, you know, just thinking about, you know, dingoes eating babies. The Australian stuff that you think about. And I'll look down and there'll be a family of 7 just under my feet and I have no idea. I'll be walking down going, oh, right, so you're all there, right in my space. That's good. No, so they'll be there and then basically I have this fear of one day tripping and just crushing everybody. You know what I mean? And then on the news, it basically comes up going, Behemoth Australian crushes 7 orphans. Hear it first on 7 News. And there's some guy just going like, it was fucking awful. Just his tears, it was like complete bombshell. So yeah, that's just my life. It actually happened one time. So it actually happened one time where I'm literally walking down the street, having a good time, and I didn't know, but there was this young lady in front of me. And I wasn't aware. And she decided at that moment, I had no idea. I was, listening to, music or whatever. Anyway, so I was walking and she basically decided the best thing to do at that point was to make a U-turn to nipple intersection. So she's turned around, smack bang, right to my nipples, because I had no idea she was there. So she's back right in the nipple intersection, just right in the crossroads. And you have to imagine, for her, she turns around and goes, oh my God, there is no sun, he's wearing a black t-shirt, there is nothing, the second coming is coming. So she screamed, she's like, ah! And obviously I feel a hit in the stomach. I hear a scream, I'm like, I've either given birth to a child, or basically like I've stepped on someone, so I'm going, ah! And so basically for anyone that's actually on the street looking at us, it's just 2 people going at each other going, ah! 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 Like we're just screaming at each other, and everyone is just looking at this point, and we feel weird. And the worst part was, at the end of it, no one had really done anything, so we had this moment of like calming down, going. And there's a whole bunch of people watching, so I'm going like, fuck, what do I do? I'm afraid to move, because at this point, if I just put my hands out like this and hug her, I think she's going to just be like afraid of an eater or something like that. So she's scared. And I think there's nothing worse that could happen right now. Until I heard a guy on a motorbike go past, just thinking, you know what? See him, he's pretty tall. Just say hello. Hello! Look at this. Just some random guy. To the point where I've just gone, yeah, no, that's it. That's the worst thing that could happen right at this point. Yeah. So, one thing I'll finish with, guys, is basically people for some reason like to tell me I'm tall before they actually ask me how tall I am. Yeah. Oh, fucking clue. No. No. So basically what happens is they'll come up to me and they'll go, you're really tall. Like, it's almost as if like they have someone has something in their teeth and just like, fuck, should we tell him? He doesn't know, does he? Fuck, I should tell him, shouldn't he? Good mate. I'll fucking tell him. So he goes up and they tell me before they do anything, and I always think like for example, give you an example. I don't see the twins, and if I want to ask them a question about being twins, I don't say to them, hey guys, if you haven't noticed, you kind of look alike. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't say it with that. I just ask them a question, guys, hey, have you seen each other naked? And you know what I mean? Like just go up straight up and ask them, and the answer is yes, and it's amazing. It is amazing. So, yeah. You're welcome. Love you. Okay. So for some reason, people tell me this, and what I need you to know is, every time someone tells a tall person they're tall, this is what happens. They'll look at them, the tall person will go, yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you, yes I am, yeah. What they're really thinking in their mouth is, say it again, I'll fucking shit in your mouth. Seriously, that's just what they're thinking. It's literally what they're thinking. And it's not even that hard, it's literally just a little frog jump, look, fire in the hole, turn the mouth. That's what happens. And that's literally what we're thinking all the time. One time, I was in an Australian pub, and guys, if you haven't been to an Australian pub, it's like this. It's an old building, there are 10 patrons in there, and 6 of them are kangaroos, and they're fighting each other. It's how it works. It's everywhere. There's kangaroo boxing everywhere. And so, I'm getting ready to fight a kangaroo, I'm having my beer, and I feel a little tap on my stomach. Not really, I feel a tap on my leg, I just want to feel relatable, so you guys sort of feel like, It was on my leg, Yeah. And so basically, I turn around, and this is what I see. Short, old bloke over here, and this is what he said to me, word for word. I'm looking up to myself. Gee, you're a big fuck off cunt, aren't you? Look at you, you're fucking tall, aren't you? Good on you, man. I'm fucking happy for you. I'm gonna go sink some piss over here. Fucking good on you, man. Fuck. And at that moment, I'm going overwhelmed by happiness, satisfaction for what he said. And at that moment, I realised I still want to shit in that motherfucker's mouth. Thank you, everybody. You've been very good. Good night, everybody.
Give it up for Dave one more time. Fucking hell, mate, you're tall. Anyway.
By the way, you're a bastard.
Okay, so next up is a second-time performer. I was going to call him Big Chris, but I can't now. So give it up for Medium Chris. Are you going to fit through now? I hope not. Whee! Here we go.
Hello. Hey. Wasn't tiny good. The little cunt over there. Oh no, over there. Look. Fist bump. Good evening. I've got students with that much enthusiasm. Yeah, my name's Chris. I'm the second time up here. I've been in China now 3 years. Longer than some, not as long as others. And one of the lovely things I love the best about China is the fact that being in the Asian end of the world, it gives me an opportunity to travel. Who likes travelling? Do you like travelling?
Yeah. I'll travel.
What's your favourite place to travel?
Bar.
Where?
A bar.
A bar's good, yeah, I like bars. Australia! Have you been to Australia? There's too many fucking tall people.
Get fucked.
Fuck off. Yeah, so I love travelling. I've spent my whole life travelling around the world. You alright? Have a good party? Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I was, many moons ago, I was travelling around Europe. Family. I used to have 2 little kids. I've still got 2 little kids, but they're a bit bigger now. They're not dead yet. Yeah, so we used to go travelling. We used to go to the usual. My home country is England, and we used to travel around Europe. We used to go to Spain, little island called Mallorca. And one particular time we were in Mallorca, and my kids were little. One was 6 and one was 5. And as you do, you go on these touristy type trips for the evening. And we were going to one of these lovely touristy, full of people on holiday shows for the night, as you do. And we bought some special tickets to get more money, yeah, we get more booze, we get more food. They're gold card tickets. So we get on the coach to go to this thing. It takes us about an hour to get there. And turns up, it's a hot, balmy summer's evening, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening. We arrive at this place. And the tour guide, young girl, she goes, have we got any gold card ticket holders on the coach tonight? And I put my hand up, went, yeah, there's 4 people here. And some other people behind us, they went, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's about 7 or 8 of us. And she jumps off, she goes off to get our tickets. She comes straight back on board. Straight back on the coach. And she looks around, she goes, I'm sorry, I didn't ask. Is there any vegetarians on board? And at the back of the coach, 2 people put their hands up. I looked round. Yeah, they were definitely vegetarians. They didn't look ill. They weren't vegans. And she went off, and this little voice pipes up beside me. Little girl, my daughter. She was 6, and she said, "Daddy." I said, "Yes, darling." She said, "We're not vegetarians, are we?" I said, "No, darling, we're not. No." She goes, "No, we're Catholics." Anyway, so. Out of a child, you know. So I like travelling, and one of the things that amazes me about travelling is appropriate and inappropriate dress and people getting ready and travelling properly. And it always amazes me when you get to the airport and you're at the check-in, and I go to great pains to make sure I've got my passport, I pack the right stuff, and the right things are in the right bag, and I've got my whole baggage, my hand baggage. And you get the twat stood in front of you. You've been waiting 2.5 hours. And somebody goes up to the check-in and they hand over the passport, and then they decide it's a good time to repack their stuff. What the fuck's that shit? And they start pulling everything out, and they're going 30 kilos and you've got a pair of socks in your bag. What's the fuck? You know? But like I say, so travelling in China's great, travelling around Xi'an's great. You know the Xi'an Mountains? Is it Xi'an? Xi'an, yeah. So about 2 months ago, Tim, where's Tim? Tim, there he is. Tim and Wayne and myself, we decided to have a bit of time out. And we decided to get away from Xi'an, get away from the pollution, get away from the people, and have a bit of a break. And we decided to go on a bit of a venture holiday, camping over the weekend. And we thought Friday night, come back Sunday night, be great. So we went up the Xi'an Mountains, however you pronounce it, I'm not very good at street. Anyway, we arrived on the Friday night in the middle of nowhere. We went up the mountains, we were walking away. We got backpacks on, we got walking boots on, and we're away we go. And the weather just closed in, and it got really shit really fast. What?
Yeah, just 2 months ago.
You were there 2 months ago?
Yeah.
What was the weather like? Excuse me, a conversation. It's a great place, isn't it? Were you dressed appropriately? Or did you have your flip-flops on? Did you have a bag of snacks? Flip-flop, that bag. You were good to go. Yeah. Thankfully, we were also good to go, but the weather got shit. Alright? It started raining, I'm going to tell you. The weather started raining, and it got really cold. And we were walking along, and we decided that it was, instead of camping for the night, we were going to get some hard cover. We were going to go to a motel, hotel, find somewhere to stay. And we didn't have a map or anything, but we came across this little village, this little town, and Wayne, he went, oh look, we could stay in this place. It's got a little restaurant, a little hotel. Yeah, okay. So we went into the restaurant, and we walked in, and Wayne's Wayne's Chinese is pretty shit. Mine's shit, pretty non-existent. Tim, however, is pretty shit hot. So we walked in, and I will do the full translation. You should have subtitles, but I can't do that. So we're going to have the full translation. Well, she looked across. We've got those horrible death stares, you know, fucking foreigners coming in here. What the fuck are you doing up here? Fucking weirdos. Never seen a foreigner before. And Tim turns around and says to the landlady. He said, "Excuse me." He says, "We're up here in the mountains. We are cold. We're wet, and we're absolutely hungry. Is there any chance we could have 3 beers, some food, and sit by your fire just to warm up?" And she went, "No." And Tim turned around and he said to us, he said, "No." And we went, "Why not?" And he goes, "Hang on a minute." He goes, "Why not?" And she said, "We don't like foreigners. You're all weird. You all look funny." And we went, "Okay, look, we're up here for 3 days, it's cold, it's wet, we're hungry, we're piss wet through. Have some sympathy, please, and can we have 3 beers and some food?" And she went, "Look, fellas, let's put it this way. If you can show me 6 inches of cock, you can have whatever you like." Right? And Tim turned around and said, "She wants to see 6 inches of cock." I went, "Stand by." So I come mincing up to the table. I went, "Excuse me, love, stand back, stand back." I said, "Cop on order this one." And I went, "Zoop," undid my trolleys, out come my knob. She went, "Hang on." And she pulled out, if I can pull it out, it's not my cock. She pulled out a tape measure. And she got her tape measure out. And she bent over and she went, "Ooh." And she looked at Tim and went, "That's 3 inches." Tim turned around and went, "Stand by, not a fucking problem, I'm in." And Tim went up and he went on the table. And she went, "Hang on a minute. That's another 2, that's good going out. You've got 5 inches now, you've got 5 inches." And we looked at fucking... Taking one for the team. We looked at Wayne, and Wayne went, "I'm your man." Wayne come up, and he went, "Whoop." Put it on the table, she went, "Yep, that's 1 inch. That's 6 inches, fellas. You can have your beers and you can have your food." And we went, "Cheers," and we clanked our beers. We sat around the fire and we're warming ourselves through. We're drinking up our beers and we're eating our food. After about 10 minutes, I looked at Wayne and I went, "Fuck me, mate. It's a good job you got a 1 inch cock." And he went, "It's a good job I've got a fucking hard on as well." Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you you very much, Chris. You're giving away all my secrets. You do realise it's why I limp. Okay, I forget who's next up. No, I don't. Okay, next up we have a newbie, another newbie, and it's M. E-M-N.
Yeah! Come on!
What's up, guys?
Yeah!
Well, not anymore. Okay, my name is M, and I'm from Middle East. Someone thinks, what? M? Middle East? What the fuck? Okay, my name is Muhammad Mustafa Muhammad Qadri. That's my passport name. Okay, so I was in. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story about M. So the name is. I was in international school back home, and we had a lot of foreign teachers. So one of the teachers, she was super mean. She would always call me. I was talking in her class as usual, and she saw me. She's like, "Hey, you, Muhammad something, Muhammad, stand up." So I was like, "Me? Like, yeah, stand up." Like, well, what did I do? She gets more mad because I was copying her. Get out and don't fucking come again. No, she didn't say that. Don't come again without your parents. I was like, okay, fuck, shit. Next morning, I come with my dad. The thing is, my dad cannot speak English, just basics, just a little bit. So, standing, my dad was standing. He was trying to focus. What she's saying, he was complaining, she was shouting. He was, your son. I was like, yes. Me, him, talk, no problem. Talk. So I just get mad. I said, okay, just stop calling me that. Just say my first name, or just say M. So that's the name. Because I was obsessed with M and M too. Has two M's, I'm just one. Okay. So, okay. So I think all of you guys has that dickhead in school bullying us and calling us stupid names, the way we look, the way we talk. Now I see it funny. At the moment, I was like, fuck that dude. So one of the funny names that he used to call our friend is a wash machine. You know why? Because when that dude speaks, there's foam coming out from his mouth and bubbles. Okay. The other name is Bus. That dude's head is too fucking big. You know, has windows in the side. You can't see through, you know? It's really huge. This is like an alien, you know? Okay. The other name is Stick. That dude is so fucking skinny. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. He doesn't wear clothes. The clothes is wearing him, actually. Okay. We used to put some stones in his pocket, in his bag. Otherwise, he's gonna be flying all over our way. It was too windy, though. Okay, so graduated, decided to come to China. So my name is Muhammad something Muhammad. Didn't have a lot of choices. So yeah. So the first thing popped in my head is Chinese. All of them, they look the same, and all of them knows kung fu, right? Okay, so I was in Beijing, and I said between two gentlemen, and I was like, "Are you guys twins?" And then and I saw something green flying to my nose. I was like, "God damn! What the fuck did you eat? A dead body? Damn!" So I didn't say that loud, of course. So I just sit for a while and I just get bored. You guys speak English? And that guy said, "Ali ho!" I was like, damn. Oh no, shit. So we start speaking. At the first 5 minutes, I wasn't breathing. I was like, I was inside the water, like, I was looking that side. Look. Yes, yeah, you were saying? Then after half an hour, I went to the bathroom. God damn, I looked myself in the my hair was standing like that. And my clothes was so fucking numb. It was like I was wearing a piece of wood. Oh god. But that dude was really friendly. He helped me a lot. Yeah, of course, I fucked him up, so I have to say that. So decided to I came to Xi'an and I wanted to learn Chinese. So first thing, the teacher asked, "What's your name?" And I said, "Muhammad." He said, "Muhammad too?" I said, "Muhammad something, Muhammad." How did you? I didn't say that. Right. So she said, "Okay, your name is Muhammad." God damn, that's Muhammad. What the fuck? I was like, okay, the first thing that I learned, 你好，我叫 Muhammad. Hello, my name is Muhammad. So I went out to play soccer, to practice my Chinese. I met everyone, 你好，我叫 Muhammad. 你好，我叫 Muhammad. All of them were answering the same thing. Oh, oh, oh. I was like, is that nice to meet you? I was like, yeah, I was so happy that I learned new word. So I went back and someone stopped me. 你好，你好. He started speaking. I was like, and he started speaking more. I was like, did I say it right? Is it one or two? Or, I forgot. So later on, I know that that wasn't a word. So thank you so much. That was my time. Nervous, thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Okay. One more thing. I want to just take a selfie with you guys, with this beautiful audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Muhammad. Yeah. I changed it to Mude. Thank you so much. Okay, give it up for Muhammad one more time. Okay, we have one more act. And it is the man, the legend, that is Tim. Come on. Come on, give him a cheer. Woo!
Oh, shut up, you don't care. Oh, I'm finally on last. It's a marathon, not a sprint, so I've been carbo loading all night.
Yeah.
What, you guys don't think I'm a runner?
Yeah.
All right. Now I know what kind of crowd we're working with. All right. Put this down. So, I want to talk about teaching tonight. Does anyone want to talk about teaching? Well, the rest of you are going to fucking suffer then, aren't you? So, before I do this story, I want you to know the kind of teacher I am. So, you know, a lot of people know me for being involved with Xi'an magazine, but like all the greatest heroes, I used to be an English teacher. About 2 months ago, I was at a press event, and a former student comes up to me, and this is a student who, when I was teaching her, was full-on engaging me in English. Entire conversation, she was zinging me for being fat, like she had her shit together. And so I try to talk to her, and she gives me one of these faces. She had forgotten everything. So my colleague looks at me and says, "Good teacher, huh?" I said, "At least I'm a memorable one, right?" So, teaching English in China can be really difficult because you never stop teaching, do you? Oh, a couple people know. All right. Have you ever just been out and someone asks you how to say something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it only happens to me. So, this happened about 8 years ago. I was new in China. I was living up in Liaoning province, and I was at a buddy's house all night. About midnight, 1 a.m., time to go home. So I walk out, one taxi there. Okay, why not? So I jump in the taxi, and you know when you don't speak someone's language, but you know what they're saying to you? So I jump in this taxi, and this dude's first line is, "Where the white women at?" I didn't know, but I knew. So I sit down in, And the first thing I do is I pretend that I don't know any foreign women. Because even though I only knew 2, there's no way I was going to unleash this guy on them already. So we start driving. And where the white women at was not the end of this. I thought I'd get by with a couple of like, hey, ni hao, mei wo ren, ting budong. You know, I thought that would be the fucking end of it. It was not. Because this guy was a body language wizard. So, the way he restarts the conversation is he looks over at me and he gives me one of these. Ha! So not everyone's with me because I was doing this to a person who's not here. What he did was he flicked me in the dick. So I look at him and he goes, and I'm like, oh, fucking A. This is where this is going, isn't it? So I try the Ting Budong again, it doesn't work. And because he is so good at body language, he puts on a dirty puppet show for me. Starts going, I'm gonna have to put this down for a second so I can give you the full effect. Bear with me, please. This guy's fucking going for it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you've seen a taxi driver handle their cell phone, right? I mean, so just imagine there's no phone and he wants to talk about fucking. So he starts going through all of this stuff. And then he asks me how to say these things in English. So this is the first time this has happened to me in general. Somebody needed to know how to say something. And definitely the first time someone asked me how to talk about fucking in English. So I'm thinking in my head about these 2 foreign women that I know, and I can't have this guy pulling up on the side of the street and saying something, you know, awful, horrifying, like, hello! I fuck you, pussy! No. I couldn't have this, right? It's appalling. So I had to teach him something else. Right? I couldn't teach him the words, but I could teach him words. So he starts the hand puppeting again. You know, so he slaps me on the dick again. So I thought about it for a second and I said, poodle. Poodle, you know the dog? Tube shaped, got a bunch of gross curly hair growing all over it. Alright, so I take it from that, only this section's seen a penis before. So then he does that one again. He asks what this is. I think again, okay, salmon. You know, it's pink and fleshy and it's got a certain odor.
Oh my God!
Hey, no. Listen, no disrespect to any vaginas in the audience.
Ham.
That's generally what it is, right? That guy's got my back. The rest of you is like, it's been a while since you've seen a vagina, isn't it? Trout's better? Learned something new tonight. So, we still got one more word to go. He does the motion again. He's fucking his own hand. So this one's easy, right? You say dance. No deal. He's heard of dancing before, and he knows that this is not dancing. So I had to come up with something new. No dance? Okay. Time machine. Think about it. If you do good at the sexing, you get up and you look and you go, holy shit, it's what time? And if you do a bad job, you act like 1 minute is 20, right? Because they all had to be specific like this. They could be the wrong words, but they had to be convincingly the wrong words. So we had our little dirty talk, he dropped me off at home. I figured this would be the end, but this was a small city I was living in, so this motherfucker found me like 8 more times. And not like he was waiting in the same spot and I was coming out drunk from my buddy's house. It was like, I'm coming out of a KFC with a chicken sandwich and he's on the side of the road going, honestly though, probably my best English lesson. Thank you guys so much, that's my time.
Give it up to Tim one more time. Time machine. Okay, that's it from all of us tonight. Just one thing, we now have a WeChat group for the audience. So feel free to join us. Add me or add Tim and to get into the group. Because hopefully we'll be getting more deals and things so you get cheaper drinks at the bar. Woo! 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 Yeah, that's good, right? If any of you out there would like to come up here and perform, give us a shout. We'll add you to the group. We can help you to work out a routine. But that's it from us. Thanks for the performance tonight. Thanks to you lot. And good night.
Run, 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 run.